has been empowering individuals, organizations, and government parastatals in information technology, business management, leadership development, and finance. Through our end-to-end training services, we help our clients achieve notable landmarks with our long-standing valued affiliate relationships with Microsoft, EC Council, CompTIA, PECB, Cisco, and AWS. Macintosh Consulting offers training and certifications in diverse areas like Network Plus, cybersecurity, cloud computing, project management, Agile Scrum, soft skills, amongst many others, with guaranteed to run classes, virtual classes, on-site classes, online classes, and customized classes.
Welcome to the Pride of Symbols, a people driven by the passion for excellence and the courage to take on big challenges and see them through. With integrity of mind and systems, our words, structures, and processes are always dependable. We are proud of who we are, what we do, and what we stand for. Firm is our commitment to the vision to build a globally recognized distribution company and to become the key driver of trade revolution across Africa. We have been empowered to make products and services accessible, affordable, and usable across Africa by building an efficient distribution network, and to remain the market benchmark for dynamism, efficiency, and competitiveness. We are rulers. We provide order. With confidence, enthusiasm, and wit we speak. The vulnerable and voiceless we empower. This is me. This is TD Africa. We rule. We conquer. We are Simba.
And I would like to tell you a bit about Rugby Business Solutions and Technologies. Rugby Business Solutions and Technologies has a vision to make the world a better place through technology, and that's what we live in and out as our culture. We start from Nigeria here. We have a crop of professionals who ensures that quality is ingrained in every service we offer. Definitely using IT technology to solve human problem and making life of everyone better. We do this across different verticals: healthcare, medical, oil and gas. I wait. It is time for you to transform your business, get the required insight, and take your business to the next level. You can give it a try by visiting our website at www.rugbysolutions.com/BSM.
You have a learning goal, and we have just one job: to help you achieve it and deliver at your convenience. Learning right starts with us at Ashem Academy. We are a learning institute in partnership with professional industry bodies like Microsoft, PECB, Pearsonville, and PSI, delivering quality training, ensuring your certification path in respective industries. Ashem Academy has training specialists with extensive consulting experience as well as the expertise to address your specific needs and preferences. Our goal is to deliver training that maximizes return on people and infrastructure investments. We define success as having the right resources to skill you up to help you meet your desired goals. Our job at Ashem Academy is to empower you to be successful at every stage of the learning journey, from training to certification to establishing professional credibility. As a certified learning partner and authorized testing center, our facility has proven to be one of the best in the country as we get to reach the needs of all ages, young, middle-aged, and those in the advancing years, making learning simple and affordable. We care about your skill development, and without breaking the bank, we present you with great opportunities to showcase your competency and expertise in your area of specialty, aiding career advancement or personal goals tracking. Let's help you bridge that learning gap. All you have to do is take the next step to enroll in our courses today, with prices that are easy on your wallets. Request access to our training calendar by emailing training@ashem.com, and you can also get the most of your learning investments by checking out our promotional offers here: offers.ashem.com/ms learning. You can call 0704-636-7151 or call 0704-576-9927. You can visit our head office at number 9 Ibikule Street off Abad Macaulay Way, Yaba, Lagos State.
For over 7 years, Macintosh Consulting has been empowering individuals, organizations, and government parastatals in information technology, business management, leadership development, and finance. Through our end-to-end training services, we help our clients achieve notable landmarks with our long-standing valued affiliate relationships with Microsoft, EC Council, CompTIA, PECB, Cisco, and AWS. Macintosh Consulting offers training and certifications in diverse areas like Network Plus, cybersecurity, cloud computing, project management, Agile Scrum, soft skills, amongst many others, with guaranteed to run classes, virtual classes, on-site classes, online classes, and customized classes. Macintosh Consulting enhances career development, promotes relevance, and ensures quality delivery. Macintosh Consulting is located in Nigeria, Kenya, and United Kingdom. Visit www.macintouch.com or call 090-381-38550 or 081-409-84158. You can also visit us at 24 Bama Chili Street off Allen Avenue, Ikeja, Lagos.
Good afternoon and welcome once again to this month edition of Technology Innovation Pathway for the Grassroots. As we do every month, this is a time we come together to share ideas, try to communicate our ideas through mentorship to people, and try to get people from the grassroots, because our belief here is that technology innovation pathway is usually more applicable, adoptable when we target the grassroots. And I like to thank everyone that have made this to happen for the past 2 years. And we thank Microsoft, one of our major outstanding support for this event. And we thank everyone that has been viewing across Africa and across each of our viewing point, whether it's through your mobile phone or through your laptop or any form of communication that you use. We say welcome and thank you for being with us and taking us and being with us, guiding us through this path. We say thank you. We also want to thank all the sponsors, just as we roll out the sponsorship, all that have been there for the community, the MCTNAIJA community for the past 4 years. Those that one way or the other support our event, we say thank you. We say thank you for another privilege to be part of this community and to ensure that we reach the grassroots and ensure we build capacity for the grassroots. As usual, we also want to thank someone that allow us to use his music to run our demo, so that will not be labeled for using music online. We thank you, Olami Music, for allowing us to use your music, your label music, to run our mentorship introduction to the public. So thank you, Olami Music, and we say we'll continue to collaborate with you on this our platform. And today is a special day, and we just want to run what we do here. Well, this is a platform which we create some years back to be able to connect mentor to mentee, hear the story of several people that have come into IT, those that started in IT, those that were in other industry and were able to get into IT. Let's learn their story. Let's try to see how we can fit in as as people. Sorry, I want to say as people, and ensure that we connect with their story and make their story a while for us to be able to actualize our journey and make our pathway. We also, what we do here is to make sure that we bring to light cloud offering, because that is the digital age, the digital era. Data has become the oil, or like a gold now. And for you to be able to be outstanding in this era, we know what ChatGPT is doing all over the world. We need to see the cloud technology. We need to see what is happening. We also need to look at other offerings, because we are in a cloud-enabled environment. And we also showcase a multi-cloud environment where, despite the fact our window is to Microsoft, but we also talk from other offerings, to be able to have a balance point for every IT guy out there that want to come into IT. And we also try to showcase digital workspace, which is a new norm because we are all working everywhere, anywhere, just as we are doing now. We are all from any part of the world as you are joining us and you're hearing this maybe as a recorded version or you're live with us. The fact is you are able to get and actualize some information just because you're connected online. And today we'll be looking at several components and several stories. We have two people we are bringing, but before that, we also want to introduce to our various user group. Our user group cut across almost all the offering that Microsoft have, from Azure to M365, Dynamic 365, from the data platform to the programming or security. Our goal is to empower people with tech industry, to make them a better person, to give them more information, to ensure that we make people to be focused. And I have my colleague here who is going to set the ball rolling. Kofi, how are you? And how is the weather in UK?
Yeah, I'm doing well, Seshi. Yeah, and I mean, to be honest, the weather in UK at the moment is just on and off. It was a bit rainy during last week, but the good thing is that this week it seems to be quite sunny. So yeah, I cannot complain. It's getting a bit hotter, but yeah. So yeah, it's lovely to, I mean, as always, to join this session. So I'll proceed with what we do have in terms of moving on to the next slide, which is our host for today. So, I mean, starting, the main man is Seshi. He is one of our, I mean, he's the glue to the whole program, to be frank. So I'll leave you to introduce yourself, Seshi.
Yeah, my name is Oluwaseoluwa Umiju, and I'm a consultant in Covenant Technology. I'm one of the community lead in Nigeria here.
Oh, that's great. So I think the next one is David, but he's not in today. So David is one of the prominent person that joined this session all the time, and he's in the security space, more to I mean, more related to the cybersecurity and also cloud security side of things. So he did not join today's session, or probably he might be joining a bit later. Is that right, Seshi?
Yeah, that's what I got a text from him that he joined us.
Might be joining. So hopefully we might also see him later on. So the next one is me. So I'm also in the cybersecurity space. I'm currently a technical account manager at one of the cybersecurity companies. So when it comes to anything related to security, you need any assistance with any firewall network, I mean, I'm your guy. You can reach out to me. You can you see my LinkedIn profile in the slide on the screen at the moment. So yeah, if you have anything related to the cyber world, just reach out to me and I'll be able to assist in that regards as well. Okay, so moving on, Deji is also one of the prominent persons that we do have, and I'll leave him to introduce himself. Can you bring out Deji on the screen as well?
Okay, I think roll him out. I think his camera is off, I guess.
Yes, Deji, we can hear you. All right, so I think he's having some issues with his camera. So he's actually involved in the data administration and also data warehouse space. So anything to deal with data, like data conversion, data migration, business intelligence. Deji is one of the key people that is in our team that can help you in that regards. He's kind of a professional and highly motivated, and he followed through with his goals whenever he set them. So when you reach out to Deji, you know that he's quite a professional person. Also, you can see that we got his LinkedIn profile also on the page. The next one we have Olena. She's not in today, so I'm guessing. So what is the? I mean, is he going to join as well? What do you think?
Yeah, she never said she would not come online, but she only said, as a woman, maybe she has something to do outside, and she said she might come late. But that's the only woman among us trying to steer up the boat. Yeah. So I guess she will not be available for today's edition.
All right. Yeah. So, but you have his profile. He got his LinkedIn on the page as well. He's also in the data space as well. So data management, data analysis. He's currently one of the head in one of the data organization in Nigeria. So you can always reach out to him whenever you want on LinkedIn and also on Twitter as well.
Yeah.
Okay. So now let's move on to our guest for today.
Yes.
So I believe at the moment we do have 2 guests that will be coming up. Is that right, Shay?
Yes, we have 2 guests, and one will come later, but I see both of them are already on stage. So we start with the first guests, then we'll move after conversing with the first one, we'll move to the second guest.
Absolutely. All right. So for our first guest, one moment. Let me just make sure my screen.
Sorry, there's the mix up here. I hope I didn't get the wrong slide up. I'm coming. I think I got the wrong slide.
You got the wrong slide loaded.
So I'll get it back. You can continue, Sir David. So, the guests around, they can just introduce themselves and bring them to the center here. Yeah.
Yeah, so our first guest will be David Kuti. So David is a Scrum Master. So I will leave him to introduce himself. I said, David, it's nice to see you on the program.
Hello, and good afternoon from here. My name is David. Hope you can hear me clearly.
Yeah, absolutely. We can hear loud and clear.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. It's a great moment for me to be here.
It's absolutely an honor to have you on the program. We definitely will have a lot of discussion going forward. I believe you go through some sort of like a presentation with us as well for today. Is that correct?
Essentially, I mean, we would have conversations.
All right, that's
rather than presenting here.
Yeah, it's Collins that's presenting.
Collins that's presenting. Yeah, that's perfect. All right, so yeah, I'll leave it to she to carry on with the questions.
Yes. So I think the first thing we do is to ask Mr. David a brief introduction about himself, his journey, and his story. Let's just hear your story to get ourselves set for the other question.
All right. Thank you. I think my story is pretty straightforward. You know me when I started.
So on this stage, I don't know you. I want to hear your story.
Yeah,
we want you to give us the story, the
story, the brief.
All right. I'll start from school, or maybe from home actually. At home, I was perceived to be the one who is going to become a doctor. I went through school. I had some pre-medical studies.
Wow.
And then, Nigeria educational system happened to us. So the fallback for me, considering, growing up in the house, there is always something everybody knows you with in the family. Mine was music and gadgets, computer specifically. So computer engineering seems like the go-to option. And then I did my first program in computer engineering, moved into electronics. And then, I had people who were Microsoft MVP around me. I was privileged to have a lot of Microsoft partners and professionals around me. So that's essentially led me into becoming a Microsoft specialist. I did a couple of years as an MCT. Until now, I'm still a certified Microsoft trainer. And then I moved into different projects. So my delivery was majorly around project Microsoft technology, and that drew me into project management. I led a couple of IT departments as an head of IT, where, of course, you have to manage operations, projects, and technology then generally. So that drew me into becoming a Scrum Master. Um, delivering projects across with agile methodology. Yeah, of course, I got into security and then business analysis because I was heading departments to deliver technology solutions to organizations. So, yeah, that pretty sums up my journey into where I am now.
Wow.
Thank you.
That's so Kofi, you can see it started as someone that wanted to go into medicine, then it diverged into IT because I see here what I can hear you say is that there's a passion towards computing, and that passion was because of people around you. So if you're out there and you're trying to go into uh, computing and you want to understand this, it's very likely that people around you can help you. David said people around him was able to guide him towards making that decision, and that was the changer for him. And that's great to hear, David. So we going to ask our viewer, please. The channel is open. If you have any question for David or for anybody here, just feel free to send it. We're receiving all for all the channels that we are um, broadcasting from. Please, anything you are thinking of or you want to change career, just like David said, he started with premeditating to become a medical doctor, but is now in IT. I think he's happy with that. He's just smiling when he was talking. There's a passion flowing through him, and that is great. So,
Yeah.
the next question we have for you, David, you have worked in this field. Now, you mentioned you started up with security. You are also a certified trainer. Now, in all this, what drove you into it, and what can you tell people out there as the striking motivation?
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for that question. I think my motivation is my love for finding the simplest way to get things done.
Mm,
Um, I think I can pass for a lazy person, even though my work ethics would make you think otherwise. But I essentially don't like anything that stresses me. Even though, as an Microsoft specialist, you can run into, take for example, Exchange server issues that can make you glued to your systems forever. But with the a mindset of always thinking there is always an easy way to do things keeps me motivated to delivering solutions and providing ways for making life easy for users and organizations generally. So yes, I always believe there is always an easy way to get things done, and that would not undermine the standard and process that organizations wants to follow. Yeah.
yeah. So you please we're all free to comment. Sir Kofi Collins is one of our hosts. You can also David Deji has dropped. So if you have question for David, you can as well do that.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
yeah.
I mean,
So
one thing that fascinates me is having that mindset that things can be done an easier way. I think many companies are after that sort of mindset, trying to automate or trying to find a better solution to get things done. Because in a world we're living at the moment, it seems to be that's where the transition is going to,
yeah,
whereby
right.
many companies seems to be trying to find the extra thing that can remove certain obstacles that are obviously hindering the progress or the acceleration of their business.
Of
So
their business. Yeah.
that sort of mindset are always going to you're always going to find work, because you see the problem, you say, okay, how do I solve this issue? How do I even make it much easier? So yeah, I do really like that approach a lot.
Thank
So,
you.
so you can see from David, he mentioned that the striking thing for him is simplicity. And
Yeah.
David will love ChatGPT, OpenAI, and because it's making life. But we still have people with contentious view that this is actually trying to take their job and making them redundant. But I like your approach. So if you are there and you are looking at ways, we are in an age that people want simplicity, want process to be regulated, process to be simplified. So that can be an area for you to look at, and that can guide you into knowing what to do. So the second question we have for you, Sir David, and we have one Sir David, but you are the second Sir David. Is what helped you to get to where you are, and what can you advise people out there hearing you now, uh, who want to set on the same similar direction, just like Sir Kofi said, that sometimes we must be guided by what moves us. You mentioned simplicity. Simplicity is a turning point to make you to what? Dive into your current position. So, what advice can you give people out there?
I mean, thank you. Again, it's important to find what makes you happy. Um, you have to enjoy. I mean, life is short. You have to enjoy what you do for work.
Hmm.
I mean, it takes love and courage to wake up every day. Um, I mean, sometimes you don't even sleep doing the things you love over the night and into the morning. So it takes you to love what you're doing, and then I think the love for, I mean, simplifying people's life helped me to stay. I mean, the joy you get from your clients and users, especially if you've ever done user support, support desk, the troubled face, you know, when they run into those challenges, and when you come in and do the magic like they will tell you,
Hmm.
and providing solutions to them, that joy that I can move on to deliver what I'm supposed to deliver, I think fuels me as well. So
Hmm.
yes, and I mean, and that feeds back into my love for simplifying processes and ways to get things done. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, David. We have to one more question. We now bring the next guest on. Then we'll come back to you afterward. Um, the next question we want to ask is, how has the industry changed for you in the last 5 years? If you look at your track record, you started from the support, you move into security, then you naturally, because of the managerial role you have gone through to the series of time in your career path, you now sit in the project management space. So for you, what's your prediction that will happen in the next 5 years? And what do you think has changed for the next 5 years? Where AI play a major part to this?
Yeah, I mean, I think the next 5 years is going to be very interesting,
Hmm.
and a lot of changes would happen rapidly. Again, I mean, we can trace down. I mean, it's a never-ending innovation cycle when it comes to technology. I remember we used to work together when Azure or Microsoft Cloud came,
Mm-hmm.
and we remember going into different organizations to deliver projects for them, and it was somewhat of a professional hostile environment when
Mm-hmm.
IT departments in other organizations sees you coming in to deliver Office 365,
Mm-hmm.
because the fear then was cloud was going to take away my job. I mean, if there are no physical servers to manage and work with, then organizations might have to start letting me go. But we see that, I mean, even though cloud came, you still need those professional experience. I mean, those professional skills to even still manage those cloud servers. So yes, I don't think anyone should feel threatened. Um, stay where you are, improve yourself, and as much as this cyber or cyborg solution, artificial intelligence keeps coming, it will require your inputs. I mean, the simple way to see computers is input, output. Input would always need human intervention. And yeah, upskill. I mean, understand and learn this new technology. GPT is helping everyone, you know. I mean, you might be emotional when you're sending some emails, but when you ask ChatGPT to help you rephrase, you know, specifying the tone you want, you know, professional, putting a little bit of joke. It makes, I mean, you don't make any mix in the workplace. So yeah, you can use all of this solution to help you deliver better and efficiently. So I think the next 5 years is going to be very fantastic for everyone that embraces it. Yeah.
Yeah. So you mentioned keep learning and keep acquiring skill. So that's just a message to everybody there. Whether you're joining us live or you're in after this recording, know that we are an era that knowledge is not subjective. Knowledge is explorative. It's something that you keep having, keep exploring, keep learning. And it doesn't limit you to your age or to your size or to your region. It's about you. And this era, we're talking of technology being built around AI. It requires a lot of understanding. Please don't give up and don't let go. So thank you, Sir David. You are still going to be on stage where we'll try to bring in the next guest because because we have a time zone issue. He's in the US and he needs to get something done. So I want to quickly have him. So our next guest is a very he's also an African, but he has you know those people that is it just like Sarkozy now. He's drinking with King Charles. He's also talking with everybody in the US, and he lives in the mother center of Microsoft. So our next guest is Mr. Joseph Mensah. Actually, Mensah is Ghanaian, but he's also like Sarkozy, who lives in the US.
Oh,
I'm drinking the water of US, and I think this is the first time both of you can just
yeah.
try to meet Sarkozy, the
Yeah.
UK, and Joseph in the US. Can you introduce Mr. Joseph? Just introduce yourself. Let's
Yeah,
move.
I didn't know Joseph actually is a Ghanaian. I thought he was based in it's just American. So I was quite surprised that he says Ghanaian.
No. You forget what day we met. They kept calling me Kofi. I'm Kofi too.
Yeah, I remember. just cracking a joke.
Oh.
Oh yeah. So I got an opportunity to meet Joseph when I went for Microsoft event in the States. So yeah, so it's been a wonderful time that we spent together. So I'm actually glad that you've joined us today. So yeah. So give us a bit of stories about yourself. I know you are a big business guru, so
That's the word, big business guru.
Oh yeah, definitely. So yeah, thank you guys for having me today. I'm really excited to be here. So a little background about myself. Where can I start? So originally I was born in Ghana. Did my primary school, did my senior high. Actually did my bachelor's in Ghana too. Then I had my master's opportunity to do a scholarship here in statistics. So let me just take you back to more of my background. I grew up in a family where my dad was more towards like steady, get your books right. I know David was saying that they wanted him to be a doctor. Definitely, that's like a typical West African home. Either be a doctor, a lawyer, or a disgrace. So you have to pick one. As time was going on, I got to find out that this whole science thing is not my thing. I like math. I like to think through problems. I like problem solving. So I remember senior high when I was supposed to pick a university and pick a program that I wanted to do. Surprisingly, I went to my parents and I was like, you know what? I want to do math, and they're like, what? Like, do you want to be a teacher? Is that what you want to do? Right. So at that time, I mean, and of course, so it so happens, right? In Ghana, when you learn math or you do anything STEM related, it's more associated to people who teach. So either you do computer science, either you do actuarial science, statistics, anything that has to be STEM related, you either teach. So that was it. I took a leap of faith and I'm like, okay, I'll go ahead and do this program and see how it goes. So I got into Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, KUSC. My first year, I enjoyed it. I'm like, okay, I think I need to take it day by day and see where it goes. So my whole family was like, what are you doing? Like, why are you doing that for? So it was a challenge, right? To actually bring them on board for them to understand that, look at this from a different perspective that, great, it's math. Even if I teach, it's still a way to impact or share a knowledge that I have. So during my time in university, that was the first year that they had a math program in Kwame Nkrumah University, and my specialty was actuarial science. So what I was doing, actuarial science is more like math and insurance. So we were the first year group. So it was more like we were scapegoats, trying to see how we can apply math into insurance, right? And our program was full of statistics, computer science, basic programming, like JavaScript. That's when I learned how to do JavaScript and all that. So third year, getting to my final year, I started looking out for schools that I want to do my master's program. Then fast forward, I had a full ride from Purdue University, from Illinois State University, and there's a third school, I think Eastern Illinois. And these were all STEM programs, full ride.
Oh.
Wow.
Right, I had to do nothing. And so then when that happened, I go back to my friends like, oh, okay, now we can kind of see where you're going now. They don't get on the boat till you succeed. And it's like, okay, we can kind of get the action, we get what you're trying to do now. So perfect, moved to the United States, started working on my master's. I did a master's in statistics, like heavy statistics, like statistical modeling using R, using Python, and all that. And surprisingly, because we were the first group from Kwame Nkrumah University at that time, almost half of my class had scholarships.
Wow, that's impressive.
So when people come to me and like, hey Joseph, I'm trying to figure it out. I'm in the math field, I'm in the STEM field. I'm like, there's so much opportunities out there that you have no idea about. Just go through the process, and eventually at the end, they are looking for people to come into STEM programs. Because let me tell you this, when I was doing my master's, we were about 8 people in the class. It was all foreigners, Indians, Asians, and Africans, of course. Because these programs, quote unquote, they will say it's hard. So people don't like to get into it. So it was a full ride, did my master's program, landed my first internship with a company called Milliman. It's a very big insurance firm here in the United States, but they do a lot of quantitative works. So I was there, my first internship, I did that. That was for the summer. Came back to school around 2016, finished my program. Right after that, I had a hard job. I interviewed a couple of interviews. I had like 3 or 4 offers, and I went into the field, moved to Seattle. I'm working now currently at Boeing. I've been with Boeing for about 2 years now. I work as a senior BI engineer. So basically working mostly on building dashboard visualizations for them, working on accelerated programs like using like advanced analytics like Python, but I'm more statistics, so I get towards our code, right? So building all these insights, also using SQL to interact with the database. So yeah, it's been my journey, and throughout that journey, I also discovered that I could also build something that would be of help to where I was coming from too as well. So it's been 3 years now. I have a startup called Razor Labs. It's a software development company. We build websites, web designs, we build application front and back end, end-to-end development. So yeah, that's the whole story about me. I know it was long, but I just wanted to make sure that I covered everything. But yeah.
Sakofi, I hand over to you.
Wow.
It was let's start from it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. It looks like your journey is something that it definitely will inspire everyone. Because when it's normal in Ghana, not actually now in Africa as a whole, that parents that are more worried when you take a specific courses in university that are not like the normal traditional route. Like they'll expect you to be a doctor, a lawyer. Those are the normal ones. But the modern world we live in, things are changing drastically, right? And these new courses that are coming are something that our parents are not used to, so they don't really understand. But I mean, it's great that you share your story. Like people taking those route will see that there are a lot of opportunities that are out there for them. And it's even interesting that with your case, you even got a full scholarship. So that indicate that when you take those route, because there's not a lot of people trying to take that journey, there are more better opportunity that will even make your life much more easier. So it's really, I'm quite excited to really hear a story. And also, you're building your own side business out of this journey that you've gone through. So one thing I wanted to ask is that, what really inspired you to develop your ideas and start your company? Because there's one thing, obviously, getting a job and obviously waiting for someone, but taking that sort of like journey that I want to also build something myself to make it more sustainable it takes some mindset.
Right. So I think what inspired me definitely, I would say my journey is not like, the more quote unquote like the conventional person. Oh, I had this great idea and I quit school, I quit my job, and I found this bright idea. I'm gonna stop work. No, mine was going through the process, right? So my inspiration came from the teachers that they taught me like my simple algebra from primary school. So it's been a process, you know. So I wouldn't say that specifically this inspired me, but I would say my journey. Growing up, like the sequence of life journey experiences is what have inspired me through life to get to this point, and even have that idea to build something for myself and for everybody around me.
Wow, that's amazing. And also just trying to make sure whatever you learn, you can actually apply it, because that's what I can see from what you just said. Like what your teachers taught you, all those things, you are trying to then make sure that you become the person that use all the experiences and all the skills you've acquired and then implement it, come up with a solution. So it's really, really incredible with that. You have that sort of mindset that, okay, I want to take that step. And so leading on to the next question, what challenges did you have to overcome at the beginning of your journey?
I think we'll definitely go back to the beginning, trying to convince people around me to look at like STEM, science, technology, engineering, math as a means to an end, not just about just doing the program and maybe quote unquote teaching. Teaching is great, it's perfect, but there's more applications, there's more applicable fields that you can use math, coding, or technology to. So the challenges that I faced also was individually was actually finding my purpose, right? And that came from me able to go through the challenge that I had of, okay, my parents are saying this, people around me are saying that, how would I be able to overcome that, right? So I made sure that I went through the process, not doubting the process at all.
And that is exciting, going through the process. He mentioned that this second time, he made sure he went to and that is
the process.
Issue. That's one issue we always omit as people that are caught into technology. We just want to come in it there. That's why it's destructive at this point of time in life. But if you don't go through the process, you might not be able to get there. And that is what he said. And
I think you have to be a bit of a visionary as well, trying to project the future, what the future I want to see the future to be like. Because to your point, if you look at mathematics in the general sense as we see in, let's say, in Africa, you might think that, okay, I want to become a teacher. But it takes someone to now think a bit further that the application of mathematics is quite broad. Every specific industry need a mathematics. Even for you to become a software engineer, knowing mathematics will take you a longer way because you now understand the concept much better. Because all these things, so I mean, all these programs that we are, there is mathematics involved. So it's like you need to have that mindset that, okay, there is something bigger than what I just see in front of me. Because what will your parents see? Are you going to be a teacher? But you saw something even bigger. You knew that there are other opportunities out there. So it's really interesting to be frank.
Yeah, no, not sure also pay. That's why this grassroots initiative is so important, because you need to get the fundamentals right.
Exactly.
You know, the moment that the fundamental is wrong, then you burn out the wrong grassroots, let's say, right? So you need to understand that it's A, B, C, D, not A, B. You know, you need to go through the ranks and, you know, and understand certain processes.
Yeah. And I think if you don't understand the fundamental, that's when sometimes you lose hope when things are getting harder. Because once you understand the fundamentals and then understand that, okay, sometimes you get from A, then you go to B. You don't get from A and then all of a sudden you jump to, let's say, Z, right? So by understanding that, okay, everything, I might not know it now, but if I still follow through and keep pushing, the next thing I know, right? Because every time you read something about your course, you are building upon your knowledge, right? So yeah, it's really. So another question I wanted to ask, which is on the screen now. So how would you describe the impact of AI in today's world? Because I know you are in this sort of like area, right? So I mean, I know with ChatGPT, it has spring up a lot of these AI conversations. So how do you see this impact in this world at the moment?
Yeah, I think I'll pick up what David was even saying earlier. It's much more, I see AI to be an enabler, right? You use it hand in hand with what you're working on. So, like, I think yesterday we were actually working on, with Razor Labs right now, we are building a product for PropTech where people can view, listen of properties and whatnot. Just like I think in Ghana, we have like Mikasa or whatever. So this is just a sidebar. We're working on this product, and we wanted to build like a report for a client. We went to ChatGPT, put in some few features to pull out some information for us. So I see AI overall to be an enabler, not something that will replace what the human input is, but to enable us to do more.
All right. So it's more like we have to look at it as a tool that will help us to do our job much better, much faster, right? Because I think for the world we live in, there are certain things that sometimes you realize that you don't need to go through that process. We have to elevate. You need to get to a point whereby wasting your time on certain tasks might not be a good use of your time. So trying to use these technologies to overcome that. And also, I think just yesterday I was watching a video where someone was trying to learn a new language, right? And he just said to ChatGPT, I want to learn this language. I want to have that conversation, because in the past, you probably need a buddy, someone who speaks that language, and then you have those conversations. But all he did was just ask ChatGPT. Actually, he was using the bin one, because the bin version, you can actually, there's a conversation aspect of it. There's a vocal aspect. So all of a sudden, they generated a conversation, and you can see that process might even help you to have much interest in that sort of like the language you're learning. But it might even shorten the time that it would take for you to understand, let's say, that language or even a specific topic, if you're using these tools to enhance your learning or experience. So to your point, I see it as a tool as well, a tool that will help us to do things that are more complex, and then overcome the simplicity aspect, because we can then upload that to Chat GPT, and then we can build upon whatever solution that we get from that. So yeah, I totally agree. I think Sir David is also on the line, and I know we do have this chat every now and then, so he might more likely have a thing or two in regards to Chat GPT.
The London one has appeared.
Hello, sir. Hello, my guys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
We're having an interesting conversation with Sir Joseph, too, the mayor of Seattle. And sorry, this is
and now we got the mayor of London here.
So he was saying that he made some very strategic info. He said, one, you don't overcome or you don't overlook the process. You make sure you follow it. He followed the process. He went to mathematics, saw a vision in it because he was passionate that this can be the driver into his IT career, and he did that. And today he's working one of the best company in the world at someone using applied IT through mathematics to make change. So you have to follow the process. Don't jump it. Don't just jump it. So that's why you met us there. So we're just talking about it. And Sir Joseph, another question before Sir Kofi give you the last one. Are you working on anything exciting at the moment? Especially, you told us you have a setup in Africa.
Yeah.
What do you do, and what are you working on?
Yeah, so we are currently on the early stages right now. We have a product that we built called OpenProp, and OpenProp is just to enable homeowners and home buyers to go on there. So maybe in the United States or maybe in London, whether you guys have a Redfin, like a listing site, where people can go see the building, contact the owners and whatnot. But what is going to be our competitive edge with what is existing is that we provide you with a virtual tour where you can go in there, view everything in a 360 format, more or less like you walking through the building, right? So that it will cut away the agent fees and whatnot. Also, we're also enabling them with a lot of information with the property, where their buyers can go on the OpenProp application or web application, and you can see that, okay, electricity come in maybe it's 16 hours per day, water comes in maybe 5 to 7 p.m. All these information, all these things are data that we are pulling in. So it's very data driven, it's very efficient, and it's going to be a powerful tool that I think that is going to add more value to what is existing in the space of real estate. So we're looking forward to launch that probably toward the end of this year.
All right, yeah, that's amazing. I think that will also follow through with our next question. So, is there any plans to expand your company to other African countries?
Oh yeah, so right now currently we have like 2 developers in Nigeria right now, and for my startup, everybody is locally based. I don't have anybody here in Seattle working for the startup. Everyone is in Ghana. We have Ghana and Nigeria currently right now. Wow. So that's our main markets right now, and we have prospects of looking somewhere else, but definitely home first, right? So yeah.
That's really amazing, because we like to see opportunity being given to people in Africa, and it looks like you're taking that initiative. So yeah, that's really amazing. So, David, do you have any other thing to add?
And not at all, sir. I'm just taking in the wisdom from all the amazing people on this panel. You know, the wisdom from Sir from our guy himself, and the wisdom from everyone on this panel. You know, from Joseph, from Kofi, from Sasha, everyone. So it's just amazing to hear.
That's great. So what about, are you going to donate more gold to this project? And because I know you found this project, so we are expecting more gold bars.
I know.
Yeah. So I don't obviously like deal in gold like Kofi does, you know, but you know, like, you know, what we deal with like mainly is we deal with like a lot of like crops and farming and stuff like that. So whatever we can send to support, we'll send. Not a problem. Yeah.
So
So it's just amazing to hear. Thanks very much for sharing with us.
yeah, it's a great story, and one thing I'm taking home and I'm sending out there is that you don't jump the process. Once you have a passion, go for that passion. And the light, even in story, do you remember Sarkofi? He said he got scholarship even when he was doing his master's, full scholarship, just because he followed the passion, he knows the goal, and he ended up as one of the best in his field. So, Sir Joseph, we'll bring you back again, especially we want to see the impact you're going to do in Africa. You have started off, and that's fine, having a startup in Ghana and then showing you're extending it to Nigeria. We also want to see more impact you will do in some other country, because you told us you were going to drop very soon because of your schedule. Yeah. So we hope to bring you back again, and that more deep conversation on how you're going to expand and collaborate with more of our African countries. Thank you very much. So if you want to stay,
nice to have you.
Nice to have you. We are bringing Sir David back. We have another David today, David Kuti. He started the story before Sir Kofi came in, and Sir David was telling us some story about himself. Now, his story is that he wanted to be a medical doctor. He has started pre-medicine, and fortunate for him, his capture here is that in his story, he was surrounded with people that are IT inclined. So that also rubbed on him to be able to dive into IT. He started with the administration, he went to security. He ended up with operation now as one of the project stimulus in his own establishment. So the next question we have for you is, as a project manager, how do you separate two things now? Your feeling, your emotion from difficult decision. For example, if I happen to work for you as a contractor, you know me one way or the other, and there's a project, and you see that I'm lacking somehow. How do you separate it? Because if you look at project manager, they are not always sentimental when they take their decision, and we want to see how do you guys do it.
Yeah, thank you, and welcome again, Sir David. Okay, so I mean, one of the skill or innate behaviors of professionals generally is your ability to separate the job or the task from the person. I mean, we all can know individuals in our workplace as fantastic people, and their inability or ability to deliver on some particular task does not make them bad people, or does not make them our enemies, trying to frustrate our lives. So the ability to understand and focus on the problem, and then make them see that you're empathetic about whatever this situation surrounding their inability to deliver is, and then position yourself as someone who is trying to help. So you're providing solutions. You're not just pointing out what the problem is. I think makes you an excellent Scrum Master, especially when you're delivering projects with agile methodology. Yeah. So I think that's the secret to project managers.
You balance emotional intelligence. Someone just put on the platform that is a skill called mention emotional intelligence, to be able to manage, because we know that technology generally is centered on people. We cannot erase that fact. Everything we do is the needs, is the change. That's why big firms that are making it today, they're having big companies, because they are able to sit in between the problem of people and solve it for them. So you must be able to balance that area. So the next follow-up question for you is, actually, are you working on anything exciting at the moment? Not marriage, not going on vacation. in terms of IT, what's out there that you are really excited about?
Absolutely. I mean, IT in itself is an exciting profession or field. I still give advice when I'm not delivering projects. Even when I'm delivering projects, I mean, I still offer technological advice to organizations. And I mean, in my 9 to 5 right now, I work with a fintech. Um, and of course there are exciting solutions, to the financial industry. My department focus on mobile financial services, so we develop solutions, either, I mean, the digital channels for bank most of the time. So yeah, there are quite exciting products and features, when you're enhancing the existing product as well. Yeah.
That's good to know. So sometimes, as someone that want to go into IT, you should also know that it's skill to be able to have something exciting going on in your life, something that keep driving you. Now, Sir Joseph said, I think it's Sir David that said it earlier. He said one key he saw here in this new era is that you must constantly be learning.
Yeah.
And if you are learning, you must be able to try to get ways by which you can get your steam out there, change things. He was saying he gives advice. So if you are there, you want a mentor, someone that can give you advice. I think we have his LinkedIn there. Please connect with him and he'll give you advice. I hope it's for free or I have to pay for this advice.
Well, if it's organizational focus, and I mean, it's still preferring solutions, right?
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, but career-wise, of course, we can always talk. I would offer advice as much as my experience can help.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think you've actually worn many hats. You've been in the support side, you've been in business project. I'm sorry, project management. So I think there's many vehicles that people might probably reach out to you about, because your experience in the industry is quite broad. So definitely, I think it's a massive thing that you have, and people should definitely take advantage of reaching out to you. And I mean, and also, if you got any projects that you want us to know about, that would be great, because you can see that you got a lot going on.
Thank you. Of course, we'll definitely collaborate when I run into security challenges. I know you're my go-to
Absolutely.
person now.
Yes, David is here, so he's laughing. Say, haha, security. What are
He
you
loves
talking
those
about?
challenges. If he has time, that if he has time. So the last question for you before we let you off the hook is, if you look back at time, if you have watched those films by Tom Cruise, they'll just do a rewind and it is his running back time. And it's like, if have you watched Matrix? I don't know
Yeah.
if you watch that movie, that movie called Matrix, where you see time just jumping back and he fights back, he come back to the future. Now, if you look to the side of the the history, or when you look back, what do you think you can do different?
Hmm. It's an interesting question, right? I don't think I would want to do anything different, yeah,
Mm,
because our experiences makes us who we are,
mm,
how we come out of them. I think my advice instead would be go through all your experiences, enjoy every moment in it, because they make you better. I mean, your learnings improves your decisions. I mean, going forward, if you do one thing for a long time, you would have learnings from previous mistakes. So yeah, I mean, delivering server solutions becomes very easy when you've done a couple of them in the past. I remember when we used to work together, we had a lab
mm.
upstairs in our office when you have projects whatever the project you're delivering is, you go and create that solution upstairs first before you go into your customer environment. So, I mean, what that helps you do is make you a champion when you're actually facing the real project. So, yeah, we learn from our experiences, enjoy those moments, and then forge ahead with them.
I leave it to Sir David and Sir Kofi before. I think Sir David, do you have any question for Sir David?
No, I think you're missing it. So you're talking about, you can say like Mr. David, you have any question for Sir David?
Sir David.
No, like I'm just impressed in terms of like the whole transition, because that's like it's
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
a whole different thing to do. I think it takes a lot of like mental strength to be able to push through making that sort of like transition. It takes a lot of like mental strength to push through to achieve, because like what someone says, you don't transition into something else and transition to the top. Usually you transition to something else, to start building from the bottom, and very few people have like that patience to build gradually from the bottom in something else and then grow and then develop. And so that's like just amazing to me, and I think that we're probably going to see more and more and more of this.
Yeah.
Our roles will all be changing. So that's a skill that at some point we'll probably all have to know. We used to be like in one area of IT, maybe that area will go away and we need to transition into a new area of IT and build ourselves all the way from the beginning. So,
that means we need more mental strength at this time, because decision has to be made. You have to be explorative. You must take decision, take things, and it's going to be very challenging for us in the IT world, because a lot of things is happening. A lot of things is happening. The AI is making different, and that we're at the corner where we want to talk about something about AI. I don't know whether Sir Collins of Abuja is I'm using Sir like you are injected with this Sir problem now. I'm just using Sir everywhere I go.
So the reason is because like I have all these amazing people. Like Sir Coffee. I can't just say coffee. Why would I say coffee? Why would I ever say that? It's like you say the kind of thing like the thunder. Like it's like everybody like, what do you mean? So I've got to like show like respect to like the elders that carry the spirit of the African ancestors. So
so Sir Collins, you have been indicted into Sir privilege now. Sir Collins want to take us through some look at the latest trend activity, and definitely is going to walk us through what it feels, because we have an innovation corner where we talk about latest technology. So, Sir Collins, we leave this to you to get us on this.
Oh, I think your mic may be muted. If you check your mic, I think you may be muted. We can't hear you yet. So I'm back on YouTube, just so you know. Yeah, thanks. We can't hear you yet.
I think we can't hear you. Sir Collins, if you can hear us, we can't hear you. Okay. We can't hear you.
So with the mic,
I think he's off, I guess.
yeah. Oh, I see. So maybe we need to drop and then rejoin.
Come back, yeah. I guess so. So let's bring Sir Kofi back, the London prince.
Yeah.
So, now, before Collins come up to tell us about his in his corner talking about ChatGPT, he's looking at for business. So we can just discuss it before he comes back. Now, what do we see AI doing in the business sense? What do you feel will happen? I think he has finally dropped. So Please, it's open for anybody can just shoot. Speed.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think it's all like it's all. Oh, I think Mr. Collins is back.
Okay.
Yes.
Mr. Collins, can you hear us? Wow.
Oh, your mic is still. We can still hear you. I think that maybe when you joined, I think there may be an option to allow the microphone use. So maybe there's like an option to just check to allow like the microphone.
You might also want to try to remove your headsets and test the system mic first.
Before, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it is off again. So let's just AI for business.
Yeah. I mean, personally, I think that there's like many use cases. So speaking from like the aspect of like from a security perspective, you see it being applied to try to deal with a lot of like the backlog of security vulnerabilities that a lot of companies have, right? So trying to target it to feel like that type of backlog. And one of the challenges that organizations are now seeing trying to apply AI to security is the inconsistency, right? So like in the case of security, for example, like, you know, there was like something that came out recently, I'm not sure if you all saw that, where somebody gave like a lot of like mathematics tasks to do to ChatGPT like months ago, and it got like maybe about 98% accuracy. And then they try and fed it with lots of mathematics tasks to do few months later, and it got like maybe about 5% accuracy, which is a massive drop. So now security people are stepping back and going, oh, okay, hold on. Like, this is like huge inconsistency. So that's like what they call like LLM drift, right, these days. So it's like, okay, so like, how do we ensure the stability of the models that we're using to make sure that we get consistent results? So I guess that what we'll probably see is that organization will probably start by applying it, or business will probably start by applying it to non-critical cases, right? And then gradually, as more stability is developed and defined in the models, or maybe consistent patterns for getting the right results come out, then more organizations will begin to apply it to much more like critical issues. So maybe like common issues would be things like maybe like process automation, maybe things like customer support, you know, answering those type of initial questions, helping to make you more efficient, maybe in terms of sending emails and all of those stuff. So you probably see like those common ones because those are not like high critical ones. And then gradually organizations can begin to look at applying it to like much more like massive cases.
Cases.
So based on what you said, you think in terms of customer support, it might even provide or even improve upon the customer satisfaction and also reduce, let's say, response time.
Yes. And there was like a report again that I was looking at recently from like a company, I believe the company was based out of India, where applying it into that case, what they saw was, I think that if I remember correctly, again, I think like maybe like the time to resolution dropped from something like 3 days to something like 20 minutes.
Wow.
Right?
Wow.
So like,
3 days, 20 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
So because that gets the attention of like, you know, the CFOs, because like they're like, oh, you know, normally it takes us an average of 3 days to solve issues, but now it's taking like an average of 20 minutes to resolve issues. So, and that's why you see like a whole lot of driving. How do we feed this thing? Not just with generic data from the internet, but with specific data that we've been gathering over the years.
And it's crazy that the vast number of like data it can actually process very quickly and even extract a meaningful insight out of it, then which human can not really do. You need a lot of people to really do that.
Okay, Sir Collins is around. Can we?
Okay, can you all hear me now?
We can hear you now. Yes.
Okay. So sorry for earlier little technical issues. It's always exciting, you know, when we all come together to talk about evolving tech. Basically, I'm always excited to join any conversation in that regard. First of all, let me just do a quick introduction. My name is Collins AJ. I'm the co-founder of a tech organization called Go Virtual Africa. So our goal with Go Virtual Africa is to create a new breed of innovators, that will create solutions from Africa for the world. So that's our major goal. And over the past 3 years, one of the things we've been able to do is establish communities in Jos and Abuja. Um, and there's been so much amazing stories, from getting the first visually impaired MLSA to getting the first MVP from northern Nigeria. There's just been so many amazing testimonies. Um, I also run a digital marketing agency from here in Abuja, where we provide solutions in web design, branding, and marketing. I'm really excited to be here there's been quite a lot of interesting conversations that have been going on. And I hope that Mr. Shea is going to bring you all to the MCT summit coming up in September. It will be really amazing to meet you all like in person. So I'm just going to be talking about a few uses of ChatGPT. The interesting conversation about AI is AI has actually come mainstream. Like the last session we had with Mr. Shea, I actually mentioned that the first discovery of AI was in I think 1855, which is about 65 to 70 years ago. That was when we started to. That was the first time machine learning and AI, actually kicked off basically. And a lot of people have been tinkering and tinkering, improving the technology till we have basically gotten to the point where it is mainstream. And when a technology is mainstream, when the common man actually uses and understands it, when the common man is actually able to integrate it in their business processes to aid them create more efficiency and creativity. So it's really exciting to see what is going to unveil from AI, right? So my talk is basically just going to be on just few uses of AI that have been pretty amazing, for businesses. So we're just going to be talking a little bit on what the Chat GPT is. I believe a lot of people already know that, but for people that are not yet aware of Chat GPT, we're also going to touch a little bit on it. And then I'm also going to talk about few case studies to just show us like possibilities of ChatGPT for businesses. We're also going to be talking about a Google add-on that literally puts ChatGPT on steroids, literally, right? I'm going to also highlight that. So if you can move to the next, then we'll kick off. Can you all hear me still?
Yeah, we can
Yes.
hear you.
Amazing. So quickly, I like to say ChatGPT is basically a chatbot that we can talk and get help. Simply put, it's a chatbot that has human-like interaction where you can have conversations and get feedback, human-like feedback from the chatbot. Yeah. So yeah, let's move to the next. I think I have very limited time. I hope I'm able to cover my slide before then. So how can ChatGPT help businesses? Let's move to the next.
Okay.
Yeah, so there are 6 ways that, currently as a business owner, I personally use ChatGPT. So I have created different profiles for ChatGPT, right? So if you look at my ChatGPT history, you'll see ChatGPT, the business development expert. You see ChatGPT as a content creator. So I've created different profiles for ChatGPT. So it aids me in creating content for social media and blogs. It also aids like to become like a digital marketing agent, where it's able to advise me on.
I think it's the network.
Yeah, I think there's an issue with the
Yeah,
internet again.
yeah. So just roll back to what he told us. Now, okay, he's back. Is he back?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you
Okay,
now.
we can hear you.
Okay,
Yes.
I'm so sorry about that.
No worries.
Yeah, so it could basically do so much. But the idea about ChatGPT is still fundamentally about, the whole ideology of a computer. Like, the common saying of garbage in, garbage out. But this time around, I'd like to say information in, data out, basically, right? So whichever way you're able to tinker with this amazing AI tool, you're able to literally see and be able to get valuable resource from it. So let's just quickly move on to the next. So meet Edgar. Edgar is basically an agency owner just like myself. And because he deals with a plethora of various clients, moving from real estate to hospitality to um to to variety of clients, it's a bit difficult to be able to curate content that literally resonates with their ideal audience or ideal customers. And this is a classical example of how, ChatGPT is able to step in and make really really helpful contributions to um, Edgar. So he lacks a lot of content ideas, and he wants to be able to put out social media marketing strategy. So he trained the chat to be able to write content in the brand's voice and style. And as a result, he has been able to increase efficiency, delivering amazing content. So that's one of the applications that we can see for ChatGPT. Can we move on to the next, please? Mr. Shay, can we move on to the next? Is that yes? So, um, I think this is the best time to introduce this tool. It's called AIPRM. It's actually a Google tool. It's actually a Chrome tool that could be added your your Google um to your Google add-ons to basically put ChatGPT on steroids. Now, we know that the whole idea of ChatGPT is the quality of feedback you get from the tool is always dependent on the prompt you put in, right? So we have these amazing guys from AIPRM. They have literally curated a list of over 35,000 prompts cutting across various categories. So when talking about marketing, talking about copywriting, talking about DevOps, they have a plethora of prompts that are already pre-designed for you to use. So all you need to do is to basically install the app. It's pretty easy. You just search for it on Google, AIPRM, and then you're able to integrate it on your chat GPT. So let me just quickly see if I could so this is a classical example. So can you take it back? Yeah, this is a classical example of how technology is really really.
Looks like his network is frozen again.
Yeah, it's frozen again. So let's let's give it a few minutes.
Yeah. So okay, I think it's back now.
Can you all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear
Yes,
you
back
now.
now.
Okay, so Mr. Grateful is a very interesting example of someone that is basically using technology to their advantage. So this guy literally grew from 0 followers to over a 250,000 followers on Instagram. And guess what? Using ChatGPT as his agent for content creation, right? So he started this challenge, and the goal was to see if ChatGPT is able to assist assist is able to assist in terms of curating content that has the ability to go viral and take him from 0 to 100,000 followers. And guess what? He surpassed that goal. Um, you know, by over 150,000 followers. So ChatGPT made a lot of suggestions on what's it called? Suggestions on content ideas that he could put out. And when he put out, the feedback was so amazing, and his account kept on growing day by day. And now guess what? He's on another challenge to see if ChatGPT can take him to $1 million in 100 days, right? So these are really interesting scenarios of how we can actually partner with technology to to change our world. Yes. So moving on to install AI PRM is pretty easy. Um, I was hoping to do a little practical, but I think my time is pretty much out. Um, so perhaps I could entertain questions if there are any questions, and then um, we could just take it up from there. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks very much, sir. That was very, very useful. Um, just very quick question from me, just before we let you go. So, what do you say about like the thinking about like originality behind things? So, for example, like some of the things is, oh, if um I'm using ChatGPT to generate a lot of content for my business, and you have like a similar business style to mine, and then at some point, will it not lead to where, you know, essentially all of us are now ending up just sounding exactly the same, where it's like, oh, okay, this sounds exactly. And there's certain things that I've also noticed, right? Sometimes, I put some prompts in ChatGPT and I realize that it likes to use certain words, right? When it's coming out, it's like, for example, like the word delve. Sometimes I have to tell him, I say, can you not use delve? He's like too much. I say, it's like, or explore. I'm like, oh, can you help me to rephrase, write this, or like change it to delve all the time? I'm like, can you? So, like, what do you say to that? Like, how organizations tackle or balance, leveraging the power of like tools like ChatGPT, like you said, while still maintaining like originality and uniqueness in terms of what's being created and used.
Okay, so I think you're talking about plagiarism, um, how you're able to avoid having um, like replicated content, basically putting out, right? So basically, what I think is it boils down to your creativity, and what I think about ChatGPT is it's a tool, right, that you could actually train, right? So based on your experience, you're able to tinker with it to ensure that you're creative. You're able to tinker with it to ensure that it produces um, somewhat original content, based on the prompts you put in. um and there's it's a really interesting conversation, especially in the AI space. How do we avoid plagiarism, especially when you have a lot of people that might be entering the same prompt in terms of content creation and the likes. But I think it's your ability to train the tool, right, to produce the type of content that you want is actually like a superpower, right? So I hope that answers the question.
Yeah, that gives like a good point. So from what I'm hearing that you're saying is it's not enough to just try to leverage this tool in their generic form. We have to know how to leverage it in combination with our own uniqueness to not to get the
Exactly.
right results that we want to get, which means that maybe there's an opportunity for people that are skilled like yourself and other people to move into those type of areas in terms of specialize in helping organizations to fine tune like their use of tools like ChatGPT to where it's actually unique to the organization.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. But Sir David and Sir Kofi, any questions that you have before we go to round mentors for today?
No, thank you. I mean, it's been very informative. Again, like you said, and like his response went. These tools essentially can be used to enhance our thoughts and what we want to put out. So again, you still need to do the work. ChatGPT is not going to replace you. It's not going to do everything for you. You essentially can get ideas and prompt it in the right way. You need to guide it essentially to give what you really want. Thank you.
That's powerful.
Yeah, absolutely. I share the same sentiment with these tools. It's all about you being more creative. I mean, me and Sir David have been looking into these prompt engineering, being creative in answering the questions in a way that is tailored to your needs are critical. So it's also an important skills that we more likely will have to develop in terms of prompting these AI tools.
I think we have some interesting comment there. The first one is he said, that you have to train it to know and think at the side of all this algorithm will depend on how creative and innovative you are. Then there's another comment that says that the way we use it depends on how skillful. You can see that's what Sir David is saying. It's not just about using it, but originality of it, and you must be intentional to be able to build that capacity for yourself out there. So the tool is wonderful, but we are getting to a point that we're all sounding the same because we are using the same. So you not your own originality into it to make a definite change. That was very, very informative. Thank you, Sir Collins. We just quickly go and meet our mentor, and we just see some announcement and we'll close for today. Let's meet our mentors, and you can connect with Yeah, welcome back. And those are mentors. And just as the slide is going, you can just connect with them and probably find a way to ask them questions, just like Sir David has said, that you can anytime just check on him, David Kuti on LinkedIn. You can meet with him, ask him questions on career, and be able to guide you from the experience paths which he has gone through. Um, we also have some activity across our innovation corner, which we're going to just showcase now. We call it our future event, and there are several events that is going to come up within West Africa. One of the events is for we have this in our own portfolio to give computer initiative, and we're still working on acquiring more computers so that we can give it to people that also we are planning to have a showcase where we have people going through certain learning track on security. After that security track, we do like a presentation. Some panelists will judge you and they'll now give you. So on our table now, we have about 5 computers that is already out and ready to be given out there. So we also want to announce that we'll be coming soon to Nigeria Azure Community Conference. It's going to come, I think, before the end of the year. Just look out for this event. Another event that will be coming that's already started is Data Fluency, and that is organized by Data Nigeria Group. It's a weekly event showcasing certain track on Microsoft Fabric. If you want to get more understanding of Microsoft Fabric, you'll be able to get more information on that. And we also have event coming up in Abuja, which Collins mentioned is MCT MVP West African Summit 2023. And we are looking at a theme called the future of business and technology. Please try to look out for this event coming up in September this year. So apart from that, I mentioned the giveaway, the Young Cyber Security Expert Innovation, which will give you more detail. We are still trying to do some more acquisition about computer that we can give out for people that want to go into mentorship and security. And we have our community, several of our community out there that you can join. We have the MCTNAIJA user group. We usually run this grassroots program and we do other events across Nigeria. We have the security group, Microsoft Nigeria Security Group, and that is the link on WhatsApp. If you want to go into Dynamics 365, we have a user group called Dynamics 365 user group. They are also on WhatsApp and you can check them out on LinkedIn. Then we have other group like Azure Community also. This is where those are the same people that will be organizing the Azure conference that is coming up this year, maybe around November or October. Then we have the M365 community group, which is actually basically if you want to hear about co-piloting and every other thing on modern workplace. This is the group that you can join. We have other group like the Power Platform, which is majorly on the power side. We have the Niger, which we mentioned earlier on our coming event. Niger Data, which is a platform that builds component data, business intelligence, and also AI. You can join them every week, and they have series, and they are looking at Microsoft Fabric. Then we have the Power BI Learning Community. This is a community that is online. Check them on Meetup. They always bring exciting things about business modeling, Power BI, Excel every week. Just look for them on Meetup, and you get some exciting activity they give out every week. And we also have for women, we have the textilers. And TechStarlight is where they try to empower the female folks. If you are there, you're a female, and you want to go into tech, this is a place where you can go and learn more on technology. And we have some upcoming weekly activity that we, apart from the group, the M365 is having a series on various components of Microsoft Office, M365, and security. We have the D365 also have weekly program. Just check them out, and they have time slot which they have it. And we have the data platform also. I mentioned their program earlier. And we have the Azure Cloud Security. And this is run by Sir David here. He's a security where he brings security experts across the world to come and speak to us about security in African own language. Please just check on him on LinkedIn, on WhatsApp, and try to connect with the group. So we also have a series coming up in Microsoft Nigeria Azure community. They started some series on DevOps some weeks back. So join them every week. They bring exciting speaker to speak about certain component of Azure and how we can learn. And this is our meetup group. If you want to join us online, go to Meetup and type MCTNAIJA-TechUSERGROUP, and you find all the events that will run on the Grassroot there. So I leave it to the panelists. We are really way beyond our time, and we want to close anytime. We just want last word from each of us, and we just have we say goodbye. Sir David, the first Sir David. Let's say Sir David, the two Sirs.
Yeah, I'll go first because I'm like, junior. Then I'll hand over to my elder. So I just like to say thank you very much, Sir David, Sir Kofi, Sir Sheyi, and Sir Collins for the amazing insights that you shared today, and thanks very much for the audience for joining also. So it's been really informative. Lots of thoughts and ideas come to my mind through listening to all of you. So really appreciate it. So hopefully see everyone again next time. Yeah, Mr. Shia, I'm not sure if it's appropriate to talk about the AWS one coming up, or maybe that's further.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can talk about it.
Okay, yeah. So there is a community conference that's coming up. So it's on the AWS side. That will be August the 19th at Unilag. So it will be an in-person AWS Community Day conference. So I'll put the link in the chat window. So it's a very interesting conference because, again, it will be live in person. Lot of amazing speakers. AWS Zeros from West Africa will be speaking. So it's AWS Community Day West Africa. So if you're around Lagos, plan to be there. There's going to be free lunch. There'll be swag. There'll be networking with lots of people. So if you're able to be there, try to be there. So thanks very much.
Yeah.
Over to you, my Oga.
Boss himself. Thank you very much for having me. It's been fantastic to rub minds and hear from every one of us. I think my advice to everyone out there thinking of switching career, moving into IT, or you're already in IT and things are looking difficult, it's essentially not going your way. Stick to what you're doing. Learn more, enjoy the moment, and things will work out for you. Basically, there are fantastic opportunities everywhere, especially in IT as well. Thank you for having me again. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Sir David. Sir David. We now move to another Sir Kofi.
Yeah, absolutely. This has been an amazing session. So, as the panelists have been saying, the key point here is keep learning, follow the journey, don't give up, because there are always going to be opportunities. And if you are in the stage of transition, it's a good thing. It's happening in the industry a lot. So just have that mindset that these things happen. So just have to keep on that mindset of I have to keep learning new skills, and we all be good. And also you got support as well. So if you have any issues, you got people that you can actually reach out to. There are mentors. You can reach out to me and other panelists in this session as well. So so that's what I can give. So so make sure you join the next session as well. All right, thanks guys.
Thank you, everyone. We meet you next month.
All right. Bye for
Bye.
now.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Pride of Symbols, a people driven by the passion for excellence and the courage to take on big challenges and see them through. With integrity of mind and systems, our words, structures, and processes are always dependable. We are proud of who we are, what we do, and what we stand for. Firm is our commitment to the vision to build a globally recognized distribution company and to become the key driver of trade revolution across Africa. We have been empowered to make products and services accessible, affordable, and usable across Africa by building an efficient distribution network, and to remain the market benchmark for dynamism, efficiency, and competitiveness. We are rulers. We provide order. With confidence, enthusiasm, and wit we speak. The vulnerable and voiceless we empower. This is me. This is TD Africa. We rule. We conquer. We are Simba.
You have a learning goal, and we have just one job to help you achieve it and deliver at your convenience. Learning right starts with us at Ashem Academy. We are a learning institute in partnership with professional industry bodies like Microsoft, PECB, Pearsonville, and PSI, delivering quality training, ensuring your certification path in respective industries. Ashem Academy has training specialists with extensive consulting experience as well as the expertise to address your specific needs and preferences. Our goal is to deliver training that maximizes return on people and infrastructure investments. We define success as having the right resources to skill you up to help you meet your desired goals. Our job at Ashem Academy is to empower you to be successful at every stage of the learning journey, from training to certification to establishing professional credibility. As a certified learning partner and authorized testing center, our facility has proven to be one of the best in the country as we get to reach the needs of all ages, young, middle-aged, and those in the advancing years, making learning simple and affordable. We care about your skill development, and without breaking the bank, we present you with great opportunities to showcase your competency and expertise in your area of specialty, aiding career advancement or personal goals tracking. Let's help you bridge that learning gap. All you have to do is take the next step to enroll in our courses today, with prices that are easy on your wallets. Request access to our training calendar by emailing training@ashem.com, and you can also get the most of your learning investments by checking out our promotional offers here. offers.ashem.com/MS Learning. You can call 0704-636-7151 or call 0704-576-9927. You can visit our head office at number 9 Ibikule Street off Abad Macaulay Way, Yaba, Lagos State.
ṣẹrú. Ó wá sáyé ọmọ ọba ní kò ṣẹrú. Ó wá sáyé kò ṣẹ̀wọ̀n.
Ó yá akéde mo fẹ́ délé bàbá tó bí lọ́mọ.
Ọmọ ọba ní kò ṣẹrú.
Bàbá àgbà ògbànigbà ní ojú ọ̀nà ó ṣe gbọ́n. Òsán-gìrì lágìrì ọ̀làgìrì kàkà. Àkọ́kọ́ arẹ́rẹ́ o. Bàbá mi ọwọ́ kẹfẹ̀rẹ̀ mi jọ. Jagunmọ́ lòdì ọ̀rọ̀. Apálá ti jó tọ̀hún tọ̀hún.
Kò ṣẹrú. Ó wá sáyé ọmọ ọba ní kò ṣẹrú. Ó wá sáyé kò ṣẹ̀wọ̀n.
Ó yá akéde mo fẹ́ délé bàbá tó bí lọ́mọ.
Ọmọ ọba ní kò
Bàbá
ṣẹrú.
àgbà ògbànigbà ní ojú ọ̀nà ó ṣe gbọ́n. Òsán-gìrì lágìrì ọ̀làgìrì kàkà. Àkọ́kọ́ arẹ́rẹ́ o. Bàbá mi ọwọ́ kẹfẹ̀rẹ̀ mi jọ. Jagunmọ́ lòdì ọ̀rọ̀. Apálá ti jó tọ̀hún tọ̀hún.